Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to look at the summary of anime titled as No Game No Life. The series premiered on April 9 of 2014 and was animated by Madhouse. The story starts off with Sora and Shiro, who are two siblings and are known in online games as undefeated group named as the Blank. In real life though, they are hikimoris who are ostracized by the world. One day, they receive a challenge from Tet, who is a professional gamer, to a game of chess, and they are victorious there. In response, he offers to send them to a world which revolves around games, and they accept it, believing it to be a joke. They are then summoned to a reality known as Disboard, where a spell known as 10 Plagues prevents violence and enforces the rules and outcomes of the games. Then inside this game, they travel to Elkia, the nation inhabited by humans, where Sora plays poker against a woman for her money and wins by out-cheating her. He and Shiro then rest at an inn and decides their next goal is to find a home. In this city, there's a character known as Stephanie Dola, granddaughter of Elkia's deceased king, who loses against Kurami Zell in a contest to decide the next ruler. She then confronts Sora for not revealing how her opponent was cheating. Sora tricks her into a game of rock paper scissors and after winning uses the pledges to make her fall in love with him. Sora and Shiro then moves into a palace with Stephanie where they learn more about this world and decides to help Stephanie to revitalize Elkia. During Kurami's coronation, Sora reveals that she was using magic from the elf Phil Nilvalan to win her games. Kurami salvages the situation but is forced to play a game against Sora and Shiro. Originally, they believe the game is chess, but Sora deduces that it is a war simulator with chess-themed pieces. Sora's charisma rallies his armies and gives them an advantage and forcing Kurami to cheat by corrupting Sora's soldiers. In return, Sora persuades Kurami's queen to join his army by declaring her king to be a corrupt. In next episode, Kurami's army begin defecting to her former queen. Eventually, her king is assassinated due to her tyrannical rule and Sora is victorious in this game too. Sora de-announces Kurami's plan in assimilating humans with the elves, declaring humanity is stronger than she thinks. Sora and Shiro are crowned as the king and queen of humanity and begin solving Elkia's political and economical problems. They later attend the formal coronation and receive humanity's race piece, which is a chess piece which represents humanity's rights and free will. Now in this game, the guy who put them inside this game, Tet, visits Sora and Shiro and explains that whoever gathers all 16 chess pieces, one for each pieces, will earn the right to challenge him for his title of god. In response, Sora and Shiro accepts his challenge, declaring that they will be the winner. Sora and Shiro leaves Elkia's political responsibilities to Stephanie until she is challenged to a game by nobles who refuses to reform. She challenges Sora to blackjack in hopes of binding him to the pledges to perform his duties. She attempts to use false shuffling but loses due to card counting. Sora trumps the nobles and uses the previous game to have Stephanie act like a dog. Stephanie tries several more games on Sora to take responsibility as Elkia's king but fails. Sora and Shiro reveals that they were not slacking but are researching ways to conquer the other nations too. In response, Stephanie redirects them to Elkia's library, which is owned by the Flugel Jibril. Sora and Shiro then challenges Jibril too by betting their table computer full of books, considering it of high value, and Jibril offers her freedom in exchange. There begins a game of materialization of Shiritori, where the words they use will materialize or disappear from the environment. From the game, Sora and Shiro deduces Disboard's scientific research is lacking and uses their knowledge to their advantage. They succeed after removing Columbus' law and inducing the hypernova, removing Jibril from the game. Impressed by the two, Jibril solemnly pledges her loyalty to them. Jibril shares her knowledge about the Werebeast, revealing that they have been undefeated for decades and have always taken memories of the game away from the opponents. When Sora learns that Elkia's king challenged the Werebeast 8 times and lost a large amount of land, he denounces the king and upsets Stephanie. Upon further investigation, Sora questions the king's motive and eventually learns about the king's will from Stephanie. Using the key from the will, Sora and Shiro finds a hidden library in the king's chamber, and there they discover the information regarding the Werebeast and their choices of games. Sora and Shiro enters the embassy of the Eastern Federation, nation of the Werebeast, to issue a formal challenge. Sora and Shiro reveals that the Werebeast uses video games and threatens to leak the information to the elves if their challenge is not accepted. Sora bets humanity's chess pieces in return for all the land on the continent. As the Eastern Federation makes the preparation for the game, Sora waits for the missing piece needed for victory. The next day, Shiro realizes everyone has forgotten about Sora. Believing Shiro's memories have been tampered with, Jibril arranges a chess game to remove the memories regarding Sora. Shiro decides her memories are real and wins the match. After investigating, Shiro recalls Sora arrange a game of reverse with Kurami. The game's pieces consist of components making up of Sora's and Kurumi's identity. Having lost most of his pieces, Sora was nearly erased from existence, but the last 3 pieces allowed Shiro to keep her memories of him. Shiro finds the pieces in her room and places them on an invisible board, winning the game and restoring Sora. From his victory now, Sora shares his memories with Kurami, allowing them to form an alliance and gain the right to manipulate Phil's memories. Sora and friend bond with Kurumi and Phil as they make the final preparation to conquer the Eastern Federation. Per Sora's demand, the match against the Werebeast is made public in order to prevent them from cheating. The game begins with Sora, Shiro, Stephanie, Jibril and their opponent Izuna Hasuse. They are then sent to a virtual reality world which resembles Tokyo. Sora and Shiro's agoraphobia acts up and they enter a devoid state. Recalling that they are in a virtual reality, Sora and Shiro returns to normal. The game is formed of cops and robbers where they use guns that fires heart-shaped bullets. While Stephanie remains clueless about the game, Sora, Shiro and Jibril battles against Izuna and deduce that her grandfather Ino Hasuse is relaying their location and state of mind to her. Sora and friend regroup as Shiro makes the proper adjustment to their plans. Executing the unspoken plan, Sora and Shiro corners Izuna, forcing her to use an ability called as Blood Destruction to augment her abilities. Now, Sora and Shiro are defeated. As Izuna drops her guard, she is shot by Stephanie riding an NPC. Sora reveals he bound Stephanie to the pledges to hide her intent, while Shiro calculated the NPC's movement, allowing Stephanie to hide her location. While Izuna laments the Werebeast's fate, Sora assures her of his goodwill. Now Sora forces political pressure on the Eastern Federation leader, the nameless Miko, to challenge him to a game. They have a coin flip game where Sora has its land on its edge. He convinces the Miko to declare they both win, and as a result, Elkia can share resources with Eastern Federation while the Werebeast maintain their self-rule. And the allied nations now is named as the Elkia Federation. In the aftermath and in the ending of the anime, Sora and friends have the Miko challenged an old dues for a game. And here the first season of No Game No Life ends. The end. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this anime summary of No Game No Life. What are your thoughts about this anime? Let me know your thoughts about this anime in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I post daily anime content about top 10 top 5 listings, anime reviews, recommendations, news, theories and all sorts of anime content on daily basis. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and that was it, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.